Hello, my name's Mr. Wickens and I'm here to present a little bit of information about the Year 9 Guided Choices process. Now when it comes to picking GCSEs that you're going to study over the next couple of years, there are two possible pathways that you could take. There's the English Baccalaureate pathway and the non-EBAC pathway. Now regardless of which pathway you choose, there are a set of subjects that you will have to study. They are English language, English literature, maths, science and RE. On your timetable you will also have PE lessons and PSHE lessons, although these are non-examined. But if you were to pick the English Baccalaureate pathway, there are then some really important decisions to make. Now with the English Baccalaureate pathway, there is a necessity that you study a humanities, either geography or history. So you have to pick from either one of those. There is a requirement that you study a language. So you pick between French and German. And then you have a free choice from any of the subjects that either you haven't already picked or that we offer at the college. Now, if you were to pick the non-EBAC pathway, again, you have to study the core subjects, just like everybody else. But then you have different decisions to make. You can pick a subject from the following 5: history, geography, French, German, or computer science. But then you have 2 free choices where you can pick any subject you haven't already chosen, or any of the available option subjects that again we offer at the college. Now what is the English Baccalaureate? Why might you consider choosing that pathway? Well, the English Baccalaureate is awarded to any student who achieves a grade 5 or greater in the following subjects: English literature, English language, maths, science, history or geography, and a language. Now the pathway isn't compulsory at Sidmouth College, but it really should be considered because it does provide, a broad range of skills and knowledge. It is important to note that it's not a separate qualification in its own right. However, the world is very competitive. The world of work's competitive. Going for further education courses is competitive. If you were to have the English Baccalaureate, then perhaps you might be considered more favourably. But of course it depends on the context. Now, which pathway you choose is completely up to you. I think it's very important though that you have discussions as a family and you decide what is right for yourself as a student, and if you're a parent, then what is right for your child. Now, what is really important to consider is that there is no easy option at GCSE. Every single subject is challenging, so we don't want anyone thinking that they should pick certain subjects because they're easier than others, because they're not. What's I think the most important thing is that you pick subjects that you enjoy studying, that you're passionate about. Students will always perform better in subjects if they have a love for that subject. So it's important not to pick subjects just because your friends, for example, are taking them, or because you think they're popular. You pick subjects that you want to study yourself for the next 2 years. Okay, we'll have a look at the Year 9 Guided Choices process in a little bit more detail now. So we've already gone through the different decisions that you have to make. One thing I haven't mentioned is that you also will need to put down on your form, your options form, 2 reserved subjects. Now, what we offer at Sidmouth College is something quite unique. Now, lots of subjects will put subjects already into option blocks and you will have to pick from certain selections. Whereas we give you, as much as we possibly can, a free choice to pick whichever option subject you want to study. So as a timetabler, what I will then do is I will try to have a look at all of the different subjects that people have chosen, and I will then try and formulate the option blocks so that as many people can get their first choices as possible. And usually the percentages are very, very high indeed. However, there are going to possibly be some situations where not everybody can have their first and second free choice, and it might be that we have to ask whether you would consider studying a slightly different subject, in which case those reserve choices are really, really important. Now, what option subjects do we offer? Well, all option subjects are the non-core subjects, so they're all the subjects that we offer at the college in addition to English, Maths, Science, RE, PE and PSHE. It's important to recognise that PE I've been talking about core PE lessons so far. There is, of course, the GCSE in PE, which can be chosen in addition. But our options do change, and the up-to-date list will be on the website. So have a look to see which option subjects you could pick for those free choices and for your reserves. Okay, so let's have a look at possible examples that you could take. If we study the EBAC pathway, then it could be that you choose geography and French. It could be that you then, for your free choice, pick history. And then for your reserves, you could pick, for example, art and drama, which are subjects in addition to the ones that we've already seen there, from the option subjects that we offer at the college. Let's have a look at another possible set of subjects that you could choose if you were going down the EBAC pathway. You could pick history for your humanities, you could pick German for your modern foreign language, you could then pick computer science as your free choice, and you could have PE, GCSE and photography as your reserve options. Now if you were to pick the non-EBAC pathway, let's have a look at some examples of subjects that you could choose here. You could, in decision 1, pick geography. You could then pick history as decision 2, because that hasn't been picked before, and it is again an option subject. You could pick art, and then you could have computer science and drama as your reserves. And we'll have a look at one more example. Let's imagine we pick German for our decision 1, then music, drama, health and social care, food and nutrition for the reserves. So as I've talked about already, reserve options, really important that you do put those down. Now, why might it be that you can't study a chosen option? Now, it might not just be because they don't fit in certain option blocks. It could also be that the numbers are just too small to make the subject viable. It might be that option blocks have to be built, well, I said this, to fit as many as possible, and it might just be that it doesn't quite fit with the different option blocks that have been formed. Or it might be that your teacher doesn't consider that the choice perhaps is the most sensible for you. But again, that will depend on the context of the situation. Okay, so hopefully now you've got a good understanding of the different pathways that could be taken and how you can choose and select different subjects depending on the pathway that you're going to take.